Hello aspirants and welcome again to Legacy IAS Academy. In this lecture, we will be discussing about the statement that is coming out from Iran, which is saying that the Iran's nuclear enrichment will not stop. So what significance does this statement has? In what context has it been made? At the same time, what is this enrichment all about? What is the concept? What enrichment we are talking about? How does it impact the global world, etc. is what we will see in this lecture. So let's get started with respect to the news that is coming in. So Iran's ambassador to the United Nations, the countries have their ambassadors, their representatives in different organizations of the world. In a similar fashion, you will have a representative of a country who is an ambassador to the United Nations. So in this case, the Iran's representative or Iran's ambassador to United Nations has made a certain statement, one of which is that he says that we will never stop enrichment of uranium because it's permitted for peaceful energy, is what he's saying. Now, many a times the individual statements could actually be neglected. However, not in this case, because here, whatever the ambassador is saying actually is the word of the nation, because the ambassador is the Iran's representative to United Nations. So this is as good as the word of the government of Iran. Now, what is being said here is that the nuclear enrichment that is going on will never stop. Why it will never stop? Because he says that it is permitted in peaceful use of nuclear energy under the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons Treaty, the NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. So let's dig more into it and understand what is the context and background in which this particular statement is being made. Now the thing is, there is an ongoing concern with respect to nuclear power of Iran or Iran's nuclear program. Now there might be a very ironical, conflicting or hypocritic thing with respect to the countries that might be showing concern over Iran's nuclear program already has the nuclear weapons. For example, the United States of America does have nuclear weapon. Israel, though not legally officially declared, unofficially the report says that Israel also have nuclear weapons. But at the same time, these are the countries, among others of course, but these are the two main players who have objection or concern over Iran's nuclear program. As a result of which, certain attacks have taken place. In fact, USA got involved in the Iran-Israel war, and USA itself attacked Iran's nuclear establishments. So that is one thing that has happened. Secondly, there has been a report that uranium has gone missing from Iran. Now that is a very dangerous thing. Now, there can be many reasons for it. Might be possible that Iran has shifted it to some safe place. Might be possible that it has been stolen. So what can happen is, if nuclear things, uranium in this case, if it is stolen, it can come in the hands of the extra state actors, terrorist organizations, etc., and can be misused to a great extent. Not to say that the countries cannot misuse, of course they can as well. So the second thing that has happened is around 400 kg of uranium has gone missing. Right? So can Iran build 10 nukes out of this? Yes, there is a possibility. Of course, you can make nukes out of that as well, and it has gone missing. Now the next thing is IAEA, that is International Atomic Energy Agency, has sort of warned the world, saying that Iran is very close to building a nuclear weapon, and it might be just months before Iran could actually manufacture them. So this is the context in which things have happened. Now, among all this, Iran's stand is very clear that their enrichment program will not stop because it's permitted under NPT. Here you can see people signing the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. The countries involved here are the then USSR, that is the present day Russia, The USA and the Great Britain. They signed it in the year 1968. Since then it is in place. Now nuclear, basically the NPT, that is the non-proliferation treaty, it is all about ensuring that nuclear weapons do not proliferate in the world. But the concern here is, if you want to ensure that there is no proliferation, then the other countries also argue, then you also destroy your nuclear weapons. If you are not destroying, you are the only few countries who want to hold it, then what right do you have to stop us from having our own nuclear weapons? So those are the concerns. That is why India also had to develop nuclear weapons sort of in a concealed manner, without giving knowledge to others, and we ensured that we became nuclear power even despite of these kind of regulations which stopped us from becoming a nuclear power. So that is the argument that is given, that if you want peace, you don't want other countries to proliferate nuclear weapons, probably you also destroy yours as well. But then these countries are not ready to destroy, at the same time want to impose these things on other countries. Now this is not to say who is wrong, who is right. There is a gray area. Of course, one side looks probably, yes, they should also destroy. The other thing is, that does not mean everyone should then keep on making nuclear weapons, because you see the world how it is, the countries how it is, authoritarian, anarchy, no governance, no democracy, etc. So that can be a danger to the world, because which is rightly said that the nuclear weapons do not have borders. Once imposed or once fired, the nuclear isotopes, etc. would be in air and can actually destroy the entire world. Moving ahead, enrichment is their inalienable right which they are maintaining. Inalienable means they cannot be alienated from this right. That means this is a right which cannot be taken away from them. Now this is the thing we already see. One interesting point that they are making is, Iran says that they will not surrender to the pressure that is being imposed. They are ready to talk, they are ready to discuss, but not forcefully. They will not yield to the pressure, is what is being said by them. So what is the position of Iran on negotiation then? With respect to negotiation among the different countries, specifically Iran and the International Atomic Energy Agency, Iran is open to negotiation, but not under coercion. It will not be forced to negotiate. It will negotiate on its own terms, at its own free will. That is one thing. Second thing over here is, Iran says that you asking us to completely be devoid of any nuclear energy whatsoever is a non-starter, is what they are saying. That means unconditional surrender is not negotiation. If you ask me to surrender it completely, it's not even negotiation. You are dictating terms, you are directing me to do something. In negotiation, what happens? You give something, I give something, so that I take something and you take something. There needs to be an exchange, there needs to be a middle path, a compromise sort of, and not just a directive. At the same time, Iran maintains that the current situation is not suitable for talks. After the attacks on its nuclear establishments, Iran is clear that the present situation after the attacks is actually not suitable for negotiation. So three things we have seen. One, it says that it is its inalienable right. Second, it is open to negotiation but not under coercion. Third, it says the present situation is not feasible for negotiation. We have to wait for a better situation. Now, why? Because presently what has happened is attack on nuclear infrastructure of Iran. So this is Iran, and these are the places wherein the attack sites and cities. So this was the attack site, this is the city. So you can see very close to the cities or the attack sites which has city inside it, if you can see, are the places which was attacked. So here Iran has supposedly had nuclear establishments which were attacked. I hope that's clear. Now Iran of course here claims that the aggression that has been shown because of this attack has basically derailed the diplomatic talks that were going on. Further, there are tensions with IAEA as well. What are the tensions here? For example, there have been allegations that Iran has threatened the chief of IAEA, but Iran denies this particular thing. Iran has also suspended cooperation as we speak with respect to IAEA. Now, what is this cooperation all about? Under the Iran nuclear deal, Iran has given the consent to IAEA to come to Iran, investigate its establishments in order to understand that they are not building any nuclear weapon, but only using nuclear energy for peaceful energy uses. So that was present under Iran nuclear deal. However, that cooperation has now been suspended. That means what? The Iran nuclear deal sort of to an extent is suspended. Now, why did Iran suspend it? Simply because USA was a part of it and USA already walked out of it. So since USA walked out of it, Iran also is not showing any cooperation and there has been attacks as well. At the same time, inspectors are present in Iran. It is not cooperating even though the inspectors are present in Iran, but even though inspectors are present in Iran, there is no access to nuclear facilities by them. Why? Because Iran has suspended the cooperation. I hope that's clear. Now, the criticism that Iran has given to IAEA is that it has accused that IAEA have not done their jobs properly. At the same time, they have accused them of aiding Israeli narratives. So they are being influenced by the Israeli narratives is what has been alleged over here. At the same time, one thing Iran is coming out and saying that the officials are there in Iran. We are not letting them test our facilities, but they are safe. These inspectors are safe. We are not going to harm them as such. I hope that's clear. Moving ahead, there is also a diplomatic standoff with USA. Why? Because USA wants to dictate terms, whereas Iran wants to negotiate, and Iran is clear that directing us to completely detach ourselves with it is not a negotiation, it is an authoritarian rule. Now, when it comes to Iran, this is the situation. So Iran may agree. What all? Iran is ready for negotiation. Under negotiation, Iran is ready for certain things. What are they? Iran may agree to transfer of enriched uranium abroad. Chalo, I won't keep it with myself is what Iran is saying. I can keep it with someone else whom we all can trust. So the 20% and 60% enriched stockpile could go to another country. For this, Iran might be open, or it can remain Iran under IAEA supervision. For both the things, Iran might be open if negotiation takes place. Now, finally, let us look at what this enrichment is all about. So this is the process of enrichment basically. So you have uranium isotopes, uranium-238 and 235. It is the 235% which is important. So in the uranium isotope, what is the proportion of U35 decides the enrichment. So here 3 to 5% of U35 means low enriched uranium. 5 to close to 20%, 5 to 19.75 is high assay low enriched uranium. Its quantity is increasing, but still it is low enriched. And highly enriched uranium is the uranium which has more than 90% of U3235 isotope. Now, why this enrichment is important? For this isotope to be used in nuclear weapon, it has to be enriched by more than 90%. Only then it can be used, else it can be only used to generate energy for peaceful purposes for utilization as an energy source. Now, Iran does have around 20% and 60% enrichment also. That means it is moving towards, that means it is quite close towards highly enriched uranium, and it is said that if they keep on doing it, maybe within months they may have nuclear weapons. So only time will tell. Thank you.